The worst stalkers on Dr. Phil. We can both agree that there aren't so many things in this world that can make you feel more helpless than being harassed and stalked by a mentally unbalanced stranger. In some cases, the obsession expressed by stalkers can be so intense that any objection to their advances can result in violence and even death in some circumstances. Believe it or not, only until recently there was little victims could do to get the needed protection against these inappropriate strangers. This is because anti-stalking laws just came into place a few decades ago. Unfortunately, even with these laws, some people have been victimized in the most terrifying ways by stalkers. Some were even attacked with knives by their psychotic stalkers. Here are the worst cases on Dr. Phil.
Why?
The woman who killed her stalker. Emily Heist experienced the worst case of stalking that will leave you scarred for life. John Ludwig and Emily Heist met through a mutual friend where he was living. They both resided in Florida and everything was normal between them before John got a little awkward. He started messaging her boyfriend on Facebook, claiming he had been in a relationship with Emily for a couple months. Although this stirred up some issues between the couple, they didn't break up as they both chose to brush it off. They thought it was all over until he started acting a little delusional. He told all their mutual friends they were in love and were expecting to have a baby. Whenever Emily would bump into him alone, he would try to offer her money in exchange for, quote unquote favors. One day he offered $500 for her to kiss him. She told him no, and he walked away. Like, who would do such a thing? Come on. He was never aggressive towards her, so she never really thought he was a threat. What creeped her out was when John told her he was Joran van der Sloot's close friend. He also said to her that he helped him dispose of the body of Natalie Holloway. Joran's case was one of the most famous murder cases in Florida. He was convicted for raping and murdering the poor girl. Right there, Emily knew she had to cut off all ties with the man and stop visiting her friend who lied in the same house with him. This wasn't enough as the creepy man attacked her with a knife in her vehicle right outside of her home. He told her to give up her car keys while holding a knife to her neck. She managed to fight him off, grabbed the knife, stabbed him, and in seconds ran out towards her front porch screaming. She got in and called the police, and when they came by, they found the man's body who had died from bleeding to death. This was one tragic stalking case. We are glad Emily survived it. Leonard claims Rick is stalking him online and his kids in real life. Rick claims it's the other way around. Both are accusing the other of stalking them, but who's telling the truth? Find out in our next story. Strangest cyber stalker. The two men were acting like two little teenagers on the set. It's frustrating to watch two grown men with families act so immature, especially when it's in front of the whole world. What's even more childish is their actions toward each other. All this madness started when Rick tracked Leonard down online, where he was calling little kids angels and requesting to meet them in private. He reached out to his kids and wife and told them to everyone that Rick was a child molester, and this is where the ruffles between them begin. What a genius. Rick retaliated by getting Leonard fired from work for using the company's computer to stalk him and his family. Leonard denies this, saying his employer never found any evidence of this and had fired him because the whole issue had resulted in an awkward working environment. It's like a tug of war, going back and forth, throwing of words here and there. The two are annoying. Watching them makes me want to pull out my hair. Leonard would post threatening videos to Rick. Rick would then send threatening pictures of Leonard's kids, their bedroom windows, and his wife. Both of them are such weirdos. Dr. Phil called both of them out. They agreed to stop attacking each other online and to concentrate on their independent lives. Finally, someone spoke some sense into these teenagers in adult bodies. Being famous is great, but it also has an ugly side. The creepiest people often stalk celebrities. Some of these stalkers are so crazy that restraining orders don't keep them away. One of these incidents is that of Chrissy Monroe, a Love and Hip Hop cast member who was cyberbullied by a fan turned stalker. Love and Hip Hop star. Well, at the beginning, it wasn't so clear as to who was bullying who. The two ladies accused each other. Mercury claimed Chrissy would follow her everywhere, and if she posted a picture with someone on social media, Chrissy would post a similar picture with the same person a couple of days later. She even hung out with her boyfriend at the time. When she was asked why she thinks Chrissy was stalking her, she said she must have been jealous of her and her talk show success. It turns out her talk show wasn't even popular. Chrissy posted on her social media pages, "This is the woman who has stalked me for the past couple of years. She thinks stalking high-profile people would help her get famous. If you see her anywhere, be careful. She is very dangerous." Mercury responded to the tweet by saying, "I'm coming for you, Chrissy, like a heat-seeking missile." Okay, that was funny and scary at the same time. After this, she filed a complaint to the police. They saw it was a real death threat, and the district attorney issued an order of protection. Mercury says the protection order was not hers, and it even had someone else's name on it. When she went back to the police, she found out it was an interrogation set up by the police. It ended with Mercury being arrested, but right after being released. Chrissy says the stalking got 10 times worse. Dr. Phil asked the women what they wanted. Both said they wanted peace and to be left alone. Dr. Phil shakes his head and says even Lassie could figure this out. He later went on to say the woman was thriving on crisis and drama and should start acting their age. Many young girls look up to such women to be their role models. It's unfortunate that these two are part of their options. From stalkers who prey on well-known celebrities to those who attack the people that no one hardly knows, Dr. Phil has had them all. The next stalker is one crazy girl who will do almost anything for the love of her life she's never met. Stalked by a girl I've never met. I'm being stalked by a girl I've never met my entire life. She refers to me as her god and sometimes her mother. This girl even believes we communicate through our minds. Bailey, the psycho girl behind this, says she talks to Jess in her mind all of the time. Well, that's it guys. I think that's enough internet for today. See you next time. Jess says the girl had traveled across states to see her. Bailey met Jess on Twitter and immediately thought she was the most attractive person she had met in her whole life. So she just met some random girl online and said to herself, "Oh look, she's cute. What a perfect person for me to be obsessed with." The first message Jess received was from Bailey on Twitter saying she was dating someone else who was pretending to be her. She responded to her saying she was not who she thought she was, and it was a mistaken identity. She didn't stop. She purged on. The delusional girl believes Jess communicates with her through Instagram posts, emojis, Twitter, and her Facebook wall. Jess wouldn't tag her in any of her social media posts or at least mention her in any way, but the poor girl thought it was all about her. Even when Jess sent her text messages saying, "Girl, leave me alone, you're blocked now," she never really got it. When Jess stopped responding to her, she continued texting her, having a full-blown conversation by herself. If this isn't crazy, I don't know what is. Someone definitely doesn't know social cues. In her head, she believed they shared music, art, tweets, and love messages. She even said, "We're so gross. It's like gross." I honestly feel so sorry for any girl or boy who has a girlfriend like this. The craziness doesn't end there though. She gives Jesse random nicknames and writes them all on her bathtub with a marker. The weirdest of them all was a drawing which had Jess's name and her dog's name on an equal scale. When both went on the show, Dr. Phil couldn't handle her craziness and kicked her out of the show. I probably would have done the same. Low-key, I think he must have been scared he would be her next victim. So because we love you so much, we have a couple of tips you can use to avoid meeting another Bailey. There are so many Baileys out there. You need to be prepared. If any of you ever spot a weird person who loves to stare through windows, carve things in their bathrooms, send thousands of texts with no response, and believes they can communicate with you through their mind, run fast and run like the wind in the other direction. This stalker won't leave her ex-husband in peace. Has taken a restraining order, losing custody of her children, and confrontation from Dr. Phil for her to stop her behavior. But will she really stop? Her story is right now.
I saved the best for last, but first I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it. It really works.
Psycho stalker. Amber has been accused severely of delusional behavior. Everyone around her believes she is mentally ill. She once tried to burn her wedding dress in front of her children right before her ex-husband took full custody of them. She has been stalking her ex-husband. One day, she broke into his home where she took 7 baths in less than 5 hours. How dirty was she though? Other than stalking, she has been sending threatening texts. One of them read, "If you back out, I will die. I am warning you. If you want your eldest child to die, let me down one more time." So she was using her own kids as leverage to get her ex to do what she wants. And she would later on get frustrated and livid about her kids being taken away. How dumb can you possibly be? When Dr. Phil questioned her, she said she had tremendous anger towards the men in her life. The story runs deeper. Her hate for men started when her best friend was killed by the guy she was dating. She never got to heal from this and blamed all her actions of something that happened more than a decade ago. Dr. Phil blasted her and told her to stop using excuses and instead own up to her mistakes and change her ways. This is one hell of a crazy woman. God help her. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Also turn on notifications. Peace out, guys.